Hey everyone! So I have bunny ears on and am barefaced, which means it's time for an eyeshadow look. Not just any eyeshadow look, a Valentine's Day eyeshadow look. I'm so excited. So I'm going to be playing with this palette right here. This is by J-Cat Beauty. This is their Dia and Noche Tri-Element 15 Pigment palette. I saw this and said, this is perfect for Valentine's Day. So if you want to see what I come up with, you have this palette, you want to come up with a Valentine's Day look too? Well then, keep watching. Alright guys, so we are going to be playing today with the J-Cat Beauty Dia and Noche palette. This is from their Once Upon a Time collection, and this is palette DNP 105. This is what the back looks like. And they do have a notation on here that there are some shades not for use around the eye area. If you are new to makeup like I have been and you do not know what that means, it means that there have been some lawsuits with some shades irritating some people's eyes and some staining. And the way that they get around that is by calling it a pressed pigment palette instead of an eyeshadow palette. A lot of times these are pigments and dyes that are not FDA approved, but that are approved in the UK, in the European Union, other places in the world. I tend to not have a problem with it. I always use an eyeshadow primer. Today we're going to be using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion for the anti-aging. I don't have trouble with staining, but if you do, I might stay away from this. This palette is $8, you guys. And that's kind of why I picked it up. I wanted to see the quality of it. I'd never had anything from J-Cat before. That's what the palette looks like. And that is what she looks like right there. The shade names are on the back of the palette as well, so no need to keep the packaging. But when I saw this on Ulta's website, I was like, this is beautiful. I've never tried anything from the brand before. And for $7.99, which I got it on sale for $4.99, it was something that I wanted to try. So we're gonna go ahead and see what kind of Valentine's Day look I can come up with this. If you can hear in my voice, I have been sick over the last couple of days, so my voice is not the same beautiful quality that it normally is. So we're gonna put the primer on the lids. And I'm gonna blend that out. Whenever I use an eyeshadow primer like this, I tend to not have a problem with the staining because you've put something down first. And as always, I'm gonna do my eyeshadow look first, just in case there's fallout. I'm never gonna be one of those types of people that does my base first. It takes me so long to do my base. I don't wanna fall out messing it up. Here, I'm gonna insert swatches. You guys will see the swatches before I do. I'm just gonna jump into the palette, but here are the swatches right here. Definitely something I'm intrigued to play with. And as I'm looking at this palette, I am not quite sure where I'm gonna start. But I think I'm gonna start right here with this shade called Ken and Barbie. I'm gonna take that on a Rephr 15 brush in my crease. We're gonna start slow. Oh, look. Okay, these look a little bit pigmented. We're gonna start slow and see what this looks like. Now, because I am barefaced today, ladies and gentlemen, we won't talk about what's going on over here. I'm not quite sure why I'm getting acne now after all these years, but it's coming in full force. I'm thinking maybe I need to change out my sponges that I'm using. All right, putting this on the lid. Okay, these are definitely a little less pigmented than I thought. They're definitely blending. You've seen the swatches, I haven't. I want to touch it. Oh, they do feel creamy and buttery. That's what that Ken and Barbie shade looks like on the finger. I think I'm pretty happy with this palette. For $8, and I got it for $5. I'm just saying. I'm going a little bit above my crease because I do have hooded eyes, and my crease will eat the shade if I don't do that. So just blending that out. Taking a little bit of time to blend. Of course, I am new to makeup. That's what that looks like. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye now. When I saw this color story though, I did not think Valentine's Day. I automatically was just drawn to the pinks and purples. And as I was going through my makeup of what I need to still film, because I just bought way too much for Black Friday. And of course we're gonna experience technical difficulties. Always, always, always. So my camera shut off on me for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely certain why. But as I was stating, I picked this up for Black Friday, so I did get this cheaper than the $7.99. As you can see, we've progressed a little bit more in the look, and I am definitely loving how this is looking. I wasn't gonna take it off and redo it. It just wasn't gonna happen. So I'm just gonna catch up to speed on what I did. So basically, we went into this color here to deepen up the outer corner. It didn't really work very well. So then we went into this color here, which is Always Find You, and deepened up the corner there. And I do love how it's looking. And I'm blending that out now. Purples are hard to blend, unfortunately, just because of the formulation. Keep that in mind, but definitely loving this. Now I have to rethink about what I was talking about. Oh, yes. So a lot of people don't think that pinks and purples are for Valentine's Day, but I am one of those people that absolutely do. And I think it has to do with the fact that I have spent many a Valentine's Day with my friends just doing a Galentine's Day, or by myself just treating myself to something really nice. And the reason for that is because I have made very bad choices in my life when it comes to partners. It all started on my very first Valentine's Day when I was 16. I was dating somebody and it was my first Valentine's Day and I was just really super excited. Just gonna blend that out with a ColourPop E16 brush. So I was really super excited. I made this plan that I was gonna cook a homemade dinner. I was gonna set up a table in the living room with candlelight. I made desserts, the whole 9 yards, because it was my first one and I really wanted to do it up in style. And being 16, didn't have a lot of money. So we went ahead and I went and picked him up because even though he was older than me, he did not drive yet. Should have been a sign. I'm really loving how this is looking. Look at this, you guys. For an $8 eyeshadow palette, I'm not mad at it. So I went to go pick him up, brought him into the living room, set up the candlelight dinner, brought out dinner. We had an amazing dinner. It was awesome. And then when I brought out desserts, he decided to drop the bomb on me that he was breaking up with me because he found somebody else. What? And that was my reaction. My jaw dropped to the floor and I was like, you couldn't have waited until, I mean, you couldn't have said this before we started dinner? And he was like, well, you'd already made it. It was just going to go to waste otherwise. Seriously? 17-year-old boys. Go figure. So that started off my Valentine's Day curse. What are we going to do next, you guys? There are a lot of shades that call to me. Okay, I think we're gonna go in with this one all over the lid. And I'm gonna use a fluffy brush because I'm gonna put another shimmer on top of it. All right, I'm gonna go in with a BK Beauty blending brush. We're gonna go into this shade right here, Good Will Win. Love the fairy tale themes. So that started off my Valentine's Day curse, where I have not had really good Valentine's Day. I've either been with people that just are not good, have not treated me right, or been by myself, which I would prefer being by myself if I wasn't going to be treated right. Now I am in a really great relationship, and you would think that would make me love Valentine's Day even more, and it doesn't. This is really pretty. And we're just gonna blend that on the lid. I have come to the conclusion now that you should not be only splurging on your loved one on Valentine's Day. That is my opinion. You should be treating them with respect and love and loyalty every day of the year. And the fact that we have a holiday that is commercialized. What holiday isn't? To spend more money than you need to show that person that you love them, it still doesn't sit right with me after all these years. As a caveat to my Valentine's Day story, 2 months later, she broke up with him, and then he was on his hands and knees crawling back to me, which I did not take him back. Just saying. But yeah, I'm actually really loving this palette. I am really impressed with it. We're gonna take that ColourPop brush and then we're just gonna blend this out. But if anybody wants to tell you that pinks and purples are not for Valentine's Day, I highly disagree. Especially if you are on your own for Valentine's Day, you're doing a Galentine's Day. Purple is the color of royalty. And just remember, you drape yourself in purple and royalty because you're worth it. I kind of want to deepen this up a little bit because that was a little bit light for me. We're just putting all the shades on. Now remember, you've seen these swatches. I have not. All right, I think I want to be bold and I want to take this shade right here, which is this one on the end. So we're going to go in with Prince Charming, and I'm going to use that same BK Beauty blending brush to do that. Valentine's Day, make your own rules. Celebrate it, don't celebrate it. Just have a good time. It actually gives an excuse to do out of your comfort zone makeup for certain. Oh, I'm loving that. Yeah, that's what I was missing. And I'm hoping to have at least one more Valentine's Day look on the channel because I may have made a purchase at Sephora. And it is on its way to me now. The Pat McGrath Celestial Nirvana Mega Mothership palette was on sale for $50. And when that first came out, I was drawn to that palette. And I could not justify spending $82 on it. I just couldn't. The mattes though, like from all the reviews I've seen, are buttery and beautiful and gorgeous. I love this look. This is really pretty, you guys. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. And now it's on sale for $50. And I was like, $50? Yeah, I think I can get behind that. So I ordered it, and I have been watching other people's reviews and looks on it. And the first thing I saw in that palette on the right-hand side as you're looking at it was like, those are Valentine's Day colors. I mean, yes, they're also Christmas colors. It was part of her holiday collection, but there's other things that you can do it. I look at that palette, I see Valentine's Day, I see St. Patrick's Day, I see spring, I see Easter, I see summer, I see Thanksgiving, I see fall. So we're going to be doing a lot of looks this coming year with that palette because I'm having a feeling I'm going to be in love with it. And that's what makeup is for, right? We need to love our makeup. I gotta say, I'm really loving how this is looking. And I'm shocked that these shadows are performing this well for an $8 palette. They're almost like high-end. They really are. Like the pigment is there. The purple was a little bit patchy. Purples tend to be a little bit patchy though. But the blending on it is good. Pigment on it is good. I have eyeshadow on my fingers. This is why you do your eyes first and not your base. And I'm not seeing a ton of fallout. Now I want to go into this shade right here. This shade is Invisible Crown. And I'm going to take that on a BK shader brush. I'm going to pick that up with my brush and then I'm going to spray it for my inner corner. And then I'm also going to sweep it up a little bit. Spraying it with my e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. Just getting it a little bit wet. You can also use your fingers, but my fingers are a little bit fatter. No, I just have small eye space. Oh, you guys, look at that. That is stunning. We're going to take that ColourPop brush and we're going to blend out a little bit. I want to add a little bit more of that pink because we lost it a little bit and we used that pink with the purple. So I'm going to just go back in and zhuzh it up a little bit. That's stunning. I was not wrong about this palette. Blend that out a little bit. I kind of want to put that all over the lid. That's a gorgeous, stunning shade. It really is. This one is a gorgeous, stunning shade. But I kind of want to see, like, what about these? You've seen the swatches. I have not. Those are so pretty too. Okay, part of me wants to put this one on the outer portion. Oh, you guys. Look at that. Happy, happy, happy. I'm just gonna go into that purple shade and zhuzh that up a little bit. Meld it, marry it. I don't want to lose that purple because that purple is super pretty. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. Take that BK Beauty shader brush and picking up Invisible Crown with it. I gotta admit, this is a spring palette too. I'll be using this all spring. Look at that. Not making the same mistake, not taking it up too high so that I still keep that pink. The way the light catches it too. Ugh. I always hate when one eye comes out better than the other. I gotta try to make the other one match. It's the artistry of makeup though, isn't it? Then for the last step, we're gonna go back into All Magic and I'm gonna put that in the center of this eye. Camera's behaving itself. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm gonna go back in with that purple shade on the outer corner, just like I did on the other eye. Kind of marry the two. All right, and that is the finished eye look for right now. I'm gonna go do my base so you don't have to see this horribleness off camera, and then we'll be back to finish up the eye look. I am back. The rest of my face is on. I'm really loving how this is looking. I do have to say, you guys. And everything I have on my face will be in the description box down below. One thing I didn't want to do without you, I am taking my highlighter. This is ColourPop Stole the Show in their Super Shock Cheek. I'm just gonna pop this on the inner brow, underneath the brow bone, because I want to sparkle like a Twilight vampire. This look deserves that. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous. And then we're gonna do the lower lash line. All right, so I'm going to take the e.l.f. flat eyeliner brush that I have right here, and we're gonna go back into that purple shade that I have on my outer crease. That shade is called Always Find You, and I'm gonna pop that in down below just to connect that shadow up. I probably shouldn't have done my mascara on my lower lash line first, but and if you do what I just did, just take a shader and you're gonna blend that out with the same brush that I used to buff that outer corner. And I'm gonna buff that in. I want that to come across a little bit more. And we're just gonna blend that out. Smoke it out. And do the same thing to the other eye. Connecting that up to the upper outer corner. That just goes to show you how far out I don't go and how not uniform I am when I put my eyeshadow on. But this is how we make a match. Stunning. That's freaking stunning. And then I'm gonna take another flat brush. This is a Morphe H2 brush out of their holiday collection, and I want to go back into that pink that we used, Princess Inside All of Us, and I want to finish up that lower lash line the rest of the way. Just mimicking what we have on the top. I gotta say, I have never really done my lower lash line, but it really pulls the look together. All right, I'm really liking how that's looking. Now I want to go back into that shade that I am obsessed with. This is Invisible Crown, and I want to run that all the way across my lower lash line. Just for that sparkle. You gotta have that sparkle for V-Day. And I'm not wetting my brush, and it is still performing very well. I'm obsessed. I do have to say, I'm obsessed. $8. I still can't believe this palette is $8 freaking dollars. And I was expecting really bad quality out of it. I have paid some money for some eyeshadow palettes that were dry and crusty, let me tell you. You guys know how I love to sparkle like a Twilight vampire. That is stunning. I'm so happy with that. I am so happy with this. This is my new favorite. So if you see anything by J Cat and the color story speaks to you, I gotta say, you guys, I definitely recommend it. Let's take the hair down and we'll show you the finished final look. That moment when you realize you've been filming with your bedroom door open. All right, guys, so this is the finished look. I'm super excited for this. I did not expect anything out of this palette, I do have to say. I expected this to be crappy. I tried an eyeshadow palette from a company that cost me 20 bucks and it was dry and crusty and like the Sahara Desert. Just, I couldn't even get pigment up on it. But these, dare I say, perform like a higher end shadow. So if you see something from J-Cat that strikes your fancy, color story wise, I say go ahead and pick it up, ladies and gentlemen. It is something I'm gonna be picking up. I mean, look at this. Stunning. Stunning. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, ladies and gentlemen. I really love when you do. Put in the comment box down below, have you tried this brand before? What was your take on it? Have you gotten anything by them that you loved, that you hated? Is this something you have in your collection and you might be pulling out for Valentine's or Galentine's Day? Let us know in the comments down below. Again, if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. It lets YouTube know that you like my content and that other people with the same interests as you will like my content too. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.